This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh. They knew me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team, I had celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. You probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard top, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright, alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team, I had celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, I fixed it. What's up, everybody? All right, I fixed it. Okay, we're back. Thank you, Braylon. I appreciate you, man. 1 second. Let me grab my glasses. I'll wear these. All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to, man, what channel am I on? Where am I at? Excuse me. Welcome to Detroit Lions Weekly for Monday, February 16th, 2026. All right, so updates. Robert Duvall, man, passed away at 95 years old. You know, it's like, I know that we don't know these people, and but I think because celebrities, most people know them, when they die, it's like we know them. But 95 years old, what a life. Several movies, man, that I've grown up with. You know, he was in The Godfather, you know what I'm saying? So he was in several good movies, man. So shout out to Robert Duvall. Fixed my thumbnail. Well, I thought I had changed the thumbnail, but I did not. So if there was any confusion, we are talking about Bradley Chubb. The Miami Dolphins went on a cleaning house spree today. They had to create some money, and I expect, well, we can't really do that. So I expect some restructures to come our way. Not sure why I'm seeing Jameson Williams trade videos popping up. It makes no sense to me, especially with the state of our wide receiver core. I mean, you know, I don't understand what's going on with that. All right. So also, what is this? Aiden Hutchinson says that he would like AQM to return. So we shall see. So if you guys haven't heard, the Miami Dolphins went on they clean house today. I mean, they got rid of 4 players, I believe it was, cleared up a bunch of cap space, and now they have quite a bit to work with. And they hired a couple guys, man, and they're on the path of recovery. It's kind of crazy because those first round picks that the Miami Dolphins had, Miami, and see, this is what look, the Detroit Lions can fall into the same type of category. All right. So we're probably going to make that comparison a little later in the show. But the if the Lions are not careful, they can wind up like the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins had 5 first-round picks in 2 years. 5 first-round picks in 2 years. I forgot who they traded away to get those picks, but they had 5 first-round picks in 2 years. They had 3 in the same round in 2020. They got Tua, and they got 2 other dudes. 2 at 5. I think they had 5, 18, and 20-something. Or 5. It was something. It was one in the tens, like the single digits. It was 1 at every level. So it was like 1 in the single digits, 1 in the teens, and 1 in the 20s. And look what happened. They won no playoff games with that haul, nothing. I mean, they took Tua over Herbert, which is insane to me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So let me shout out Michael, X, Chad, Fave, Schiff, what up? Donkey Kong in the building. We are 6 subs away. What up, Andy? We are 8 subscribers away from 6,000, man. I am super excited. This channel is growing faster than Lion Syndicate. I mean, I'm not putting any content over there. I'm enjoying this right now. Let me see. Chad says, we got St. Brown, Tesla, Laporta, Sonic, and Knuckles. J-Mo only gets serious consideration if St. Brown is out. Trade J-Mo. That is ridiculous to me, bro. That's ridiculous. What are we doing? What are we doing? Fave is reading my mind. He said, holy, this comment section is concerning. That is crazy. He's on the Eagles and Cowboy list already. Rich, I would not be surprised. Who's not on the Eagles list? Like, real talk. Who's not on the Eagles list? Bud, what up, though? What's up, Rich? How you doing, man? Alex starting to come off as a drama queen, some culture, Brad Wright. Yeah, I did see that yesterday. That he was kind of beefing with the social media of the Detroit Lions, which I thought was weird. I thought that was weird. James Daniel, the guard from Miami, could be good at left guard. I saw that about an hour ago. I didn't realize he was in his 90s. Yes, 95 years old, Rich. 95 years old, man. Team starting to clean house. Yep. About $45 million saved in Miami. Knew this live was coming. Well, no, yeah. Vaughn is Monday. You know what I'm saying? And I was considering, I mean, like, to be honest with y'all, I don't know, like, when I'm going to get on. This show has never had a set time. The goal is to have a set time. My life is a bit too chaotic to have a set time. It really is. 4:00 Thursdays on Lion Syndicate. I can do that. But, and that's sometimes, like, I couldn't even do it a couple weeks ago because, and it's going to be tough because my son he's going to have these appointments daily. And I don't know what time they are yet. It's looking like they might be 4 to 7. So if that's the case, then I'll have to get on. Yeesh, like, that's going to be crazy. I don't know when we could do Detroit Lions Weekly, but that might be every day. Flint Lions fan says, I want Nakobe Dean. It's too many great LBs out there. I will let Anzo walk in a heartbeat. Faye says, LOL, they want to trade St. Brown because y'all were offended over y'all don't know ball and think he's a diva. All right, well, first of all, I don't know if they have other than Jared Goff, who has a no trade clause in their contract. I don't know who has those when it comes to the Detroit Lions, but I don't see, the only person that I truly see us entertaining a trade like of value would be Aleem McNeil. That's it. That's the only person I could see. Jameson Williams is not getting. What are we doing? Where did this come from? We literally just extended the guy. So people got to eat that contract, right? So we're not trying to take away from our offense. Our offense is why we're winning games. Like, come on, y'all, let's be real. And Jameson Williams is a big part of that. So let's get right into it. So I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm seeing some utterly ridiculous comments about and videos about trading Jameson Williams for assets. And I think that that's dumb. I do. I don't understand, like, what are we doing here? The time, if we were going to trade Jameson Williams, that time would have been passed already. And let's be clear about something. Brad Holmes absolutely adores Jameson Williams. There is nobody on the team. Like, to me, there are protected guys on the team. Jared Goff, St. Brown, and Aleem McNeil, and Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, don't forget, Brad Holmes traded up to get this guy. Used Matthew Stafford pick, the first year of it, to trade up to get Jameson Williams. Why would we trade Jameson Williams? If we traded Jameson Williams, even if it was for a reason, A good reason. We would be crippling our offense. We really would. So you can, because why? Why would you say that? Okay, well, first of all, Jameson Williams is a 1,000-yard receiver. Secondly, he stepped up big time in the absence of St. Brown. He became a number one wide receiver, and he showed that he could be a number one wide receiver. Third, who we have under contract, reliable wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, number one. Jameson Williams, number two. And then Isaac Tesla, number three. That's what we think is going to happen. So if we were to trade Jameson Williams, Tesla would be number two. I mean, what would we do here? Now, you could argue that we could replace him and all this other Jameson Williams is somebody that we would not have on our team if we were to trade him. A person who you have to respect when it comes to speed and stretching the defense. Gone are the deep balls. Those are gone if we were to do that. So I don't understand why we would do that. First, and an additional reason is if we traded Jameson Williams, our offense would take a hit. Our offense is why we were winning games. We would not be 12-5. We would not have division wins. We would not have NFC Championship game. We would not have any of those things without our offense, because our defense hasn't done anything. So even if we were to trade Jameson Williams and get some capital back and a player and a couple picks, not only do we have to replace him on offense, it would have to be a game-changing defensive player, because our offense is going to take that massive of a hit. Sam Laporta, we don't know what's happening with him. We have no clue. Brock Wright, we don't know. Shane Zylstra is not even on the team. The last time I heard, I looked at the potential signings that we have, or the free, and he's not part of that. So why would we do that? I don't understand that at all. Braylon Edwards was talking crazy about trading J-Mo. So that's where this came from, Braylon Edwards. Well, I mean, those guys that's what they do. That's what they do. So, Braylon's a former player, and he seems, I don't know, the clips I've seen of him, he seems like he's non-biased because he is not a Lions fan. So, but at the same time, to me, that would be, for a conversation point, to me, it's even stupid. It really is. I mean, we're at that time of year where we're talking about this and talking about things that don't make any sense or make very little sense, and that are probably not going to happen. But I don't understand how trading Jameson Williams would make this team better overall. We're going to lose the only person we have that stretches the defense. You have to respect. Well, you know what St. Brown is? St. Brown is reliable and a yak person, right? He gets most of his yards after the catch. The air yards, that is all Jameson Williams territory. And we've seen what he could do catching the ball 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, catching the ball 40 yards. It would be idiotic to trade Jameson Williams. Now, I will say this. If you wanted to entertain trading Jameson Williams, let's say you entertain it. What could you do? Maybe you could see what Tyreek Hill is looking like, 32 years old, coming off a wicked knee injury. Maybe you could see if he got something left. But if you were to trade Jameson Williams, you would lose a critical piece to the offense. And I don't know if it's worth whatever would come on defense, because we would have to have the number one defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that's the only way that I would even entertain trading Jameson Williams, is if we were guaranteed to have players that could get us, because that's where all my assets would go. But then you have to find somebody to replace him on offense. So to me, it doesn't. Braylon also hated the Jack Campbell pick. Now he's eating his words. Trading J-Mo sounds absolutely stupid. And so, I mean, I understand, like I said, I understand that we're trying to find a way for this team to get better. But trading Jameson Williams is not that way. Trading Amon-Ra St. Brown is not that way. Trading David Montgomery is not that way. Brad has built this offense over the past 5 years. And the offense, again, is the reason we have been winning games. If you strip away, if you look at when the Lions have been winning, do you know that our offense, off the top of the head, has been top 5 the 3 years that we've been winning? Well, we had a winning record this year, but we didn't make the playoffs. We had a top 5 offense. It was number 3 a couple years ago. It was number 1 for a long time this season. We had those offenses. So it would be dumb for Brad to do that. That's just my opinion. Let me know yours. I don't understand that. But I think we let Ansel walk by. But I think we let Ansel walk. Try and get Jacob Rodriguez. Okay, who's Jacob Rodriguez? What's up, Patty? No one should go anywhere on our offense. If we traded anyone, it will be someone on the defense. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't think that Steven, I'm not putting him in the same category. I'm saying that the offense is the offense. It's fine as it is. We could use another piece, wide receiver. Of course, when I say offense, I'm not talking about the offensive line. Of course, that needs work. I mean, you spent years. This is not year 1 or year 2 where we got Jamal Williams and we on Hard Knocks. You've built this offense. This offense is why you're winning games. Don't take anything away from that. That's why we regressed in the first place. Look at that O-line, man. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? The offense is not the problem. It's not the problem. They just signed. Jameson Williams is untouchable. He's been untouchable since he got here. The Lions were never going to trade Jameson Williams. You don't extend somebody. Well, the Lions don't. The Lions don't extend somebody they're going to trade. And when has Brad Holmes traded? The only person that he's traded Matthew Stafford, and that was to build this team. You traded T.J. Hockenson because you didn't want to pay him. He was not your guy. Think about that. Jared Goff, in essence, was Brad Holmes' guy. T.J. Hockenson was not. Sam Laporta is. Will Sam Laporta get paid? We'll see. We shall see. Rich says, off topic, but I like DJ Reed's Facebook account yesterday, but I got a like from DJ Reed's Facebook account yesterday. I don't think it's an official page, but whoever he was got like 2,800 followers. Jacob Rodriguez is a beast. He's a draft. He's a college player. No wonder. Okay. No wonder our defense has any trade value other than Hutch. Michael, I disagree. I think you could easily trade Aleem McNeil. I don't think it's a lot of people. And then you got to think about this. Outside of Hutch and Aleem, there's no trade value. There's no trade value. You are right about that. There's zero trade. Of course, Jack Campbell, but we're not trading Jack Campbell. Aleem McNeil and Hutch, right? So honestly, Aleem McNeil. He's the only one, and he's not getting traded. I take Demo over Gibbs as RB1. Oh, 28. Okay, million. Okay. Offense is the problem. We need a center. And Steve, I'm not doing this with you today, my brother. I'm not doing this with you, bro. I'm not. Statistically, the offense was not the problem. I'm not doing this with you. Come on, man. We're not doing this today. Because I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to do this today, bro. There's no the stuff that you say, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, man. It really doesn't. Like, how can you say our offense was the problem? Our offensive line needed some help. Yes, and we need to fix that. But no, man, I can't do this with you today. But it is the offense. I don't get it. It's not, bro. Steve, we can't do this, bro. We can't do this. How is it the offense when the offense was was rated number 1 for most of the season? Now, do we have cracks in the offense? Is there holes? Yes. Does the offensive line need to be addressed? Absolutely. But to say that the offense was the problem, the offense has been the reason that we are even talking about Brad Holmes in the first place. I'm telling you, man, if Brad didn't build the offense that he built, including Jared Goff, we would have been talking about get him out of here, because the defense has never, ever lived up to anything at all. We have defensive pieces that if they play healthy, but I'm going to tell you why. This is why. Why do you think the defensive line has been, I'm sorry, I gave it away. Dang. I was going to ask you guys. The defense, if you think about our Achilles heel, the entire time Holmes has been here, it has always been the defensive line. It's always been. The Achilles heel has always been the defensive line. Think about this. Year 2, you draft Hutch and Josh Pascal, who does absolutely nothing. But year 2, you start investing. You invested in the secondary from the moment you got here. Ify Melifonwu, some other signings. Now, again, year one is hard to hold against Brad and Dan because it was trash. Like we was working with Matt Patricia throwaways. I get that. But year two, when you had your first Matthew Stafford pick, your first full, like, okay, I've run the team for a solid year. I'm going to do my thing. You've invested a ton of resources into the secondary. Ennis Raestraw, Terrion Arnold. I mean, I would love to know the list of, we've already done it. You can almost rattle them off the top of your head, man. So trade Demo to fix the offensive line holes. We have a great running back. So why not trade him to fix the important holes we need to fix? Because Jahmyr Gibbs, think about this. I want y'all to think about this, okay? Jahmyr Gibbs, he is a great, fantastic running back, right? But what has Jahmyr Gibbs had from the moment he got here? David Montgomery. So why, if we traded David Montgomery, I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs would start to take a beating. Let's have another segment. So David Montgomery was underused last year. And I made this very clear in a video that I did last week that I don't think it was David Montgomery wanting to be an RB1. I do not think that that was his problem. His problem was in 2025 when they could have used him, they didn't. If you think about this, David Montgomery did not complain at all under Ben Johnson. He did not, because he was being used in right situations. It's not about the usage as so much like amount of usage. Then, okay, I'm here, use me. That's what it is. It's not I want to be RB1. So the question that I have, we're having an offensive conversation, and a lot of people believe that Jahmyr Gibbs can be RB1. I believe on our team, I think it was 1A, 1B. Now he's no doubt RB1. And I think that while that is great, we have not seen Jahmyr Gibbs without David Montgomery. Think about that. Even though we didn't use David Montgomery like we were before under Ben Johnson, we have still not seen a Jahmyr Gibbs be the Detroit Lions running back without David Montgomery. One thing Jahmyr Gibbs does not do often is miss games. I can almost assure you, if you were to take away David Montgomery and not have a reliable back that you can count on, Jahmyr Gibbs would start to miss games. He would take more hits, and he would start to miss games. Now, he's missed a few in his career, but he hasn't missed as many as he will if they trade or cut David Montgomery. Think about this stuff. This is about, not to say that he can't carry the load, but think about this. Think about the rest of, if you look at like in this NFL system, day and age, you really, really, really could use a 1-2 punch. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have a solid one, I mean, look at Swift and Monangai. And we know how Swift was when he was here. And I'm looking at him in Chicago, and I'm like, I know that's the same guy, but it ain't no way that's the same guy. And then you didn't even miss a beat and when Kyle Monangai came in. Then you have, because I tell you what, you know who it take, in my opinion? David Montgomery, the Minnesota Vikings. He more healthier than Aaron Jones. You know who it take, David Montgomery? The Green Bay Packers. Like, we have and also take some load off of Jahmyr Gibbs. In order for Jahmyr Gibbs to stay fresh and shifty and healthy, I think we could use a backup like David Montgomery. And I don't even view David Montgomery as a backup running back. He is the second running back in the system of the offense that we run. To me, this has never been about running back 1 or RB2. On the depth chart, you have to have it like that. But the way, and one thing I can say is the way Ben Johnson ran this offense, we never had these conversations. Nobody was talking about Jahmyr Gibbs being the lead back, because we don't need a lead back. We have a 1-2 punch, Sonic and Knuckles, that was working. We don't need a lead back. What we have is capable of winning. And think about this too. We were winning doing that stuff. And the minute we got away from it, which is one of the Lions' major problems, is when we get away from what's working. So again, David Montgomery's complaints to me is not some selfish, oh, I want to be RB number one. That's not what this is. It's, hey, I'm on the team. Use me. So David Montgomery is sitting on the sideline and he's watching defenses adapt to Jahmyr Gibbs. He's watching Jahmyr Gibbs running the football, getting negative yardage. And he's saying, hey, it might not be a bad idea to put me in these situations. And then what did we see? We saw David Montgomery come in and literally go forward. 9 out of 10 times, Jahmyr Gibbs was stuffed to play before, and this is with the same exact offensive line they were running behind. And David Montgomery would get positive yardage and almost was never tackled with the first hit. So to me, it would be a mistake to trade or cut or even entertain getting rid of David Montgomery. Especially knowing that you signed him, you extended him after 1 year of his services. So you believed in him. And we had Jahmyr Gibbs at that time. So I don't understand where this stuff is coming from. Brad Holmes built this offense in a way that we have had success. Because be clear, the offense, David Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, St. Brown, this is the reason we're even in the category of winning, because Lord knows it ain't been our defense. And I don't know if it ever will be. So why take away something from the offense, a proven commodity, for what? So somebody could be a lead back, somebody you drafted? So I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me to trade David Montgomery, cut David Montgomery. And I fear that if you were to have Jahmyr Gibbs in and out, Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, his sweet spot, if there are, how many plays are in a game? How many plays? Usually it's 70 plays, somewhere around there per team. Give Jahmyr Gibbs, you're going to pass. Jared Goff is going to have on a good, think about this. If there's 70 plays in a game, 70 plays on offense, right? Jared Goff's sweet spot is to throw I would say between 28 to 32 times. 28 to 32 times. So let's say he does 30. That's half. You know what the sweet spot is? So that's 32. Okay, what does that leave us? That leaves us with 38. Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 carries. And then you could have David Montgomery with another 17. So that's 34. So you could give Jahmyr Gibbs 20 carries. You can give Monty 18. You can give Jahmyr Gibbs 22. I noticed when I was looking at the stats that you could give Jahmyr Gibbs 22 and Monty 16. Monty is like, yo, use me when you need me. And the Lions weren't even doing that. It's obvious that Jahmyr Gibbs was not working, and they still were not using him. They still kept trying to force Jahmyr down the throat of the defense. So to me, it would just, you don't want to take away from this offense when you've built it to be the only reason that we're competitive in the first place. Steve just at the Steve. Oh man. The O-line is legitimately responsible for every running play. Gibbs doesn't need. Okay. All right, Steve. I can't, bro. I appreciate you, man, but I can't. Steve, I need you to start your own YouTube channel. Start your own YouTube channel. Start it. And because your takes sometimes be, I don't know where they be coming from. Let me see. In my opinion, the offense, D-Mo is more critical than J-Mo. Rather have both. Chad, we have both. Why are we having these discussions? That's a rhetorical question. Both are under contract on the Detroit Lions. Why are we having these conversations? The offensive side of the ball is not our primary concern. Yes, do we need to get the O-line? Absolutely we do. That's unavoidable. And if you're going to win games, you got to shore that up. But the defensive side of the ball is our major concern. Even with Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Panay Sewell, Kevin Zeitler, our defense was still terrible. You know what I'm saying? Q-Ball, what up, though? What's good with you, man? Vocal Coyote says they love Gibbs for his home run ability. They keep forcing it to him for the small chance he busts one. Hey, you know what? Yep. Jahmyr sells the tickets. 1A says we could have won more games by using Monty. Hey, Q Ball. So I got a question for you, bro. I meant to reach out to you on Saturday. Have you ever thought about, I know you do like the Instagram and stuff. Have you ever thought about a YouTube channel, my brother? Because when you sent me that video, I was like, yo, I can see it. I can see. The only negative thing would be sometimes those songs, they are so good, they get copyright claimed. So that would take all of your money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, dog, I think you're missing out, brother. I think you're missing out for real. I mean, of course, you would have to, everybody who came up to sing, right, they could give you verbal confirmation that they want to be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You could be like the fave trip of what you do, bro. I was like, yo, you missing a grand opportunity, my brother. The chat stays lying. Okay, chat said if we talk about getting rid of Demo, I'd rather have Demo. If we can trade a player to boost the defense, that's where I'm on at these two players. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't want Brad to trade nobody away. I want him under pressure, bro. I want him with the hydraulic press, like on Terminator, bro. You're Terminator. I want him under massive amounts of pressure, because you built this team not to trade it away, but to keep building on it. So the Lions have painted themselves in a corner that legitimately we have one person on defense that if you looked at it from the right angle could be traded. Aleem McNeil. That's it. And if we did that, now all of a sudden, we're taking a massive hit at our defensive line interior that was already suspect to begin with. There's no DJ Reader. He netted 0 sacks. None for 2025. Not a single one, right? So then you have a second-year player that's going to essentially be the anchor of your defensive interior. And then what are you going to do after that? Draft a rookie? So you're going to have Hutch, rookie, Tyleek, unknown. So I don't think there's anybody outside of, like, on defense that legitimately, except maybe Jack Campbell, they probably would really, really want him. Lions have now on the offensive side of the ball, sure. People would die. They would kill for St. Brown. They would kill for J-Mo. I think they would kill for Jared Goff. They would kill for Jahmyr Gibbs. Somebody is actively trying to get David Montgomery. So there's no doubt in my mind. Somebody is actively trying to get him. Grid, you inspired me to grow my beard out. My grandson didn't know it was me yesterday. Rich, that's what's up, man. I just wish I had your kind of hair, my brother. I'm about to start my own sports podcast. Brandon, I will help you with that. If you need help, just let me know, man. The chat wants the Detroit Lions to win a Super Bowl, but they are so dang emotional. You can't be emotional when the Super Bowl, you have to make moves. Okay, Steven, so what are those moves, my friend? I actually had a YouTube channel with 5,000 subs until today. I got my third strike last week. It was kind of a different channel. Oh, okay, Q-Ball. I'll catch up with you off the air, my friend. Huh. Okay, I'll catch up with you off the air. Let me see. I love Demo, but he's the least valuable. He's the least valuable to this offense. Maybe another team may need a... Oh. Steve, I'm trying to process what you're saying, bro. I'm trying to cycle through the offense. You said least valuable to the offense. I'm going to disagree, because least valuable means that out of 11 people, David Montgomery is number 11. And I'm going to have to disagree with that. I think that David Montgomery, I'm about to make a controversial topic. I think he's just as important as Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they are of equal importance. Jahmyr Gibbs has the home run ability. Typically, he has to be untouched. David Montgomery is that tough 20 to 25 yard runner that will hit all 11 people on his way to that 25 yards. It will take all 11 people at one point or another to touch David Montgomery before he went down. So for me, I have to disagree. Walter, what up, though? Aaron says, did you see that Tyreek Hill is now unrestricted free agent? What's your thoughts on us trying to get him? Aaron, I did see that. We're going to get into that in a second. I mentioned him briefly in another segment, but yes, I did see that the Miami Dolphins, but we knew that was coming. It came earlier than expected. But yeah, they kind of saw, they knew that before he was injured, but when he got injured, it was a done deal. When Montgomery got so many yards, Lions went up. Let me see. I can already see it. When Brian Branch comes back from a ruptured Achilles, everybody going to be crying because he isn't himself before the injury. Daquan says, our run game didn't look the same with Gibbs as RB1. Monty used to wear the defense down so Gibbs could just eat. There you go. There you go. That's exactly my point. Did people already forget that Demo did to the Rams in overtime in week 1? Bobby, apparently not people. I think it's just Steve, but that's Steve's opinion. And yeah. I think y'all think I be outlandish. I mean, to me, some of this stuff is ridiculous. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. So it was something that I saw today, and I instantly thought that of the Detroit Lions. Instantly thought of it, and what did I do with it? No. Okay, what did I do with it? I thought I bookmarked it. Okay. Let me pull this up. I must have didn't bookmark it. You know what, y'all? Real talk. I feel like. Wait. Okay, there we go. So I didn't bookmark this? No, I did not. All right. What up, DA? What's going on, man? Says short-term memory loss when it comes to a player on our team. Braylon with the super chat says, you making a Lions syndicate video on Chubb? Probably. I don't know, man. I haven't really been inspired, but I probably will. It's not just a Monty thing. All right. So Miami Dolphins clean house today. They released Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, James Daniels, and Nick Westbrook-Akine. I didn't even know he was with the team. I thought he was. Who is that? That is on the Titans, man, with a very similar name, or maybe I thought he was on the Titans. They saved $66 million. That's what they cleared in cap space, and they are $56 million in cap space. So they cleared 66, and they're over 56, which means that they were close to negative, if not already negative. One or more could be held until March 11th for additional cap savings. Roster reset underway in Miami. So Bradley Chubb, the reason that I have him on the thumbnail is because some of you wanted him at the trade deadline over Jalen Phillips. Bradley Chubb, I don't know what his market value is because it's not there. SpotTrack did update their website, but now when a player is not on an NFL team, sometimes they will put their contract behind a paywall. So I can't see the details of his contract, and he has no market value. But is he a guy that you would want on the Lions? I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to turn down Bradley Chubb, especially if he's a free agent and I don't have to give any draft cap. I mean, in a perfect world, that's what I would prefer to do, is get somebody with no draft capital attached, because we need all we could get. And I'm going to be real with you, man. I have no faith in Brad Holmes anymore. So I don't even know if he's going to be here in 3 years. And I would hate for him to put us in a Matt Patricia situation. I would hate that, because I'm going to be real. Brad, he worked this thing year one. Brad, we had 5 draft picks from Matt Patricia. He flipped those 5 into 7. One of them was Panay Sewell. One of them was St. Brown. One of them was Derek Barnes. One of them was Ife Melifonwu. Of course, that came from the Matthew Stafford trade. So I think he might have had 5 and then had 6 after that, but then he flipped those to 7. And we got some pretty decent players out of that haul, right? So for me, I would prefer that. And now with Bradley Chubb available, I'm like, watch it happen. Watch it happen. Injury history, played very well last year. I think he had 8.5 sacks. So I think Bradley Chubb could be a guy. This is the type of move that Brad is going to make. He's going to make and to me, Bradley Chubb kind of is kind of, and it's weird that he's a defensive end because I don't really see him. It seems like when I see Miami, I don't see him in the 3, like on the line. I see him standing up most of the time. So would I be mad? No. Would I be super through the roof? No. I mean, but that seems like something 100% Brad would do. He's not going to get, he's going to, and I think like, to be honest with you, I think Khalil Mack, Bradley Chubb, I think those guys are they on the top of the bargain bin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if they would be a bargain because they still producing at a high level, especially Khalil Mack for 35 years old when the season started. He producing at a solid level. I mean, Chubb came off a brutal injury. He's under 30, but I think it's all about a price. It's all about a price, man. But Brad wants to snag people at a discounted rate. Now, the question I have for you is, do you think Bradley Chubb will cost more than Al-Qadim Muhammad? And also, do you think Brad Holmes is willing to spend more than $7 million on a pass rusher? Because it has not happened yet. So signing and that's why I wish I could see his past contract. So I don't know, man. Let me see, Steven, you sound like, let me see. Demo might end up in Kansas City. I did see something about that, Steven. Somebody commented on one of my videos yesterday and was like, that would be crazy. But think about this. Think about this. If David Montgomery ended up in Kansas City, that is all Brad's fault. I would really want him fired. I would really want him fired, bro. Because think about this. You have a guy under contract. So David Montgomery cannot sever his contract, but the Lions can sever it. Or they trade him. David Montgomery cannot trade himself. The Lions would have to trade him. And you trade him to Kansas City, or you let him And I'm already picturing it. He'll look out cold. He'll look out cold with the arrow on his head, bro. That I'm already picturing it, bro. That's crazy. Ed says rally for Epinesa. Brad will keep AQM over Chubb because I assume AQM is cheaper. Fresh, if so, not by that much. AQM's market value is $8 million over 2 years. That is $16 million. That is more money than Brad has ever paid for a defensive end not named Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know who we have in store, but I think that Bradley Chubb and Bradley Holmes, that's crazy. I think that Brad Holmes, he's a bargain bin diver. Like, he's the one that all the stuff, he wants the stuff at the bottom of the bargain bin. What if we traded Demo to KC for Chris Jones? Then whoever did that needs to be fired from Kansas City. Whoever did that they need to find a way out the door. His contract was 5 years, $110 million for 13 in signing bonus, $33 million guaranteed. Okay, Kenny, that might have been the case, but according to what they do still let you see on Spot Track, 2022 to 2027, it was a 5-year deal. Yes, but the details of the deal, like yearly. Here's what he did since he signed. All right, so in November 2022, he signed a 5-year, $110 million contract. Then on March 9th, 2023, he converted $18 million of the salary into a signing bonus. That's probably what's going to happen with when the Lions do their restructures. That's probably a lot of this stuff going to be converted to a signing bonus. Then, do I have a lumbar support? I think I do. Then in March 2024, he converted $13 million into a signing bonus, adding a void year and clearing $11 million in cap space. This is exactly what the Lions are going to do. And then in March of 2025, they agreed to a renegotiated contract for the 2025 season. He was never going to be there this year. C Pool with the super chat says Chubb and AQM will want 2-year contracts. Well, you know what, C Pool? If I'm Brad Holmes, and if you have earned, like, I would give them a 2-year deal. I think Al-Qanim Muhammad earned a 2-year deal. And with Brad Holmes, I mean, if you have a career year in sacks and you've earned a 2-year deal, most of the people I sign, if they have any type of legitimacy to them, I would give them 2 years. You know why? Because I may not be here in 2 years. Like, this is it. This Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, I told you, man, it's their Titanic moment. This is their iceberg, gentlemen, it's been an honor, because they might not even be together in 2 years. Who are you willing to trade for Max? Big Black? No one, because I don't think we have anybody. I did see Detroit Sports Podcast mentioned Max going to the Bears. Like, I think Bill Barnwell or something did something. He's a big ESPN analyst, and he does trades and stuff like that he could see them trading for Max Crosby. But when it came to Detroit, he didn't mention Detroit. But I think it was either Christian or John that Aleem McNeil was part of the trade. That's the only way. Aleem McNeil is legitimately the only person that I think you could even entertain a trade with all of the entire Detroit Lions squad. There's no one on offense that you could be willing to trade or anybody would want. There's no one, because everybody that people would want, we're not giving them up. And then you go to the defensive side of the ball. All right. Nobody's going to want Terrion. Nobody's going to, DJ Reed, maybe like a smidget. Kirby, and nobody's going to want either one of them. We don't know what's going on with them. Kirby or Brian. So they're done. Jack Campbell, somebody will take him. Alex Anzalone, free agent. Who else? Derek Barnes, smidget. Like, now, would I give Derek Barnes up? Absolutely. I'd throw him in there. I would throw Barnes before Aleem. I would throw Derek Barnes before Aleem. Mr. Green in the Stuff says, hot take. I'd rather have Demo than Gibbs. I'd rather have both, to be honest with you. And it's going to be weird saying one without the other. Lions aren't going to get anything out of a Demo trade because of his age. They might get a 6th-round pick for him at most. Hey, Run, if you got a 6th-round pick for Tim Patrick, you can definitely get a 6th-round pick for David Montgomery. I think you can get more than that. If we trade Demo before March 13th, we save $3.5 million in cap space. We could definitely go get Chubb. See, here's the thing, though, Steve, and I'll say this to you, bro. David Montgomery is a drip in the bucket. If do you know if we that $3.5 million, do you know we're still $3.5 million over the cap? We're still $4.5 million over the cap, bro. So trading Demo would be absolutely idiotic, in my opinion. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the potential of him being traded. That is a drop in a bucket, is what that is. Bucky Brooks wrote an article about 7 NFL teams with Super Bowl windows open. Lions are not on the list, but the Bears are. Not a surprise. Chubb is going to be $12 million a year. Not going to happen. Well, if that's the case, yes, that's not going to happen. Monty has a cap hit of 8.5. Christian, but how much is he clearing up if you were to cut or trade him? Raiders would rather take a washer and dryer over any of our corners. That's the A. Amana. And Amana. I would take an Amana, bro. If you know about Amana. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get into it, man. You know what? I will make that video on Lion Syndicate. I will make that video on Lion Syndicate. Full show. It can happen because Anzalone will be gone too. Yeah, I mean, but what does Anzalone have to do with? Anzalone's not under contract. What does he have to do with David Montgomery? Steve, what is the issue, bro? That's the brand. Hey, listen, I got it, Amana, and it's still kicking. I'd rather have Monty. Would you rather have DJ Reed, TA, and Rakestraw as CB, or a rookie RB2 and a legit cornerback plus Reed and TA? What, Kristen? What? Enzo is not saving us money. He's already off the books. Well, suspense technically no, because he's he got avoided year, but yes. Just want to make it clear, if we play the right cards, we can make about $100 million in cap space without cutting anybody. Okay, that one guy, please tell me why. All right. If you want to call instead of typing, you can call. If you got the number, call it. Leave a voicemail. If you don't, I'll give it to you. I would trade Monty in a heartbeat to upgrade the defense. Okay, give me that upgrade. What are you doing to upgrade the defense? Dang, we've been on for 50 minutes. I told my wife I wouldn't be on the 4:30. She was like, yes, you will. Yes, you will. Okay, all right. The number is 313-536-0545. 0544. 0544. Call that number. Leave a voicemail. Let me know when you're done. I'll bring in your take because I would love to know that. And we might even make a segment. The dead cap will be astronomical in the future with all of those years restructured. Hey, Splasher, that is why this is all of us. This is why this is even so much more important that we win in the next 2 years. Because, like it or not, one regime has to deal with the fallout of the other one. And there might be a scenario where both guys are gone. Brad Holmes is gone. There is no scenario that I see that Dan Campbell is gone, but Brad is still here. Under no circumstance. It's either one or Brad. Brad Holmes will in no shape or form be here without Dan Campbell. But it could be the other way around. So that's why it's even more important, because you pushing all this money back and you might not even be here. But if you win a Super Bowl, you guarantee an extension. You guarantee. I think Sheila gives you one if you make it. Because the Lions have never. Think about this. Think about, where does my frustration come from? Brad Holmes had an opportunity to literally be the greatest general manager the Lions have ever seen just by getting to a Super Bowl. He didn't even have to win it. Bro. If he would have got there, because I believe if we got there, we would have won, even with Travis Kelce and Chris Jones being in the lineup. I think we would have won, man. The Chiefs, that was the beginning of the end for the Chiefs. I mean, they made the Super Bowl the next year, but it was almost like, that's why I said it was the beginning of the end, because they also missed the playoffs. Who cares? You know what? Michael says, who cares about later? Later is relevant when you don't win, right? Because if it's more like, who cares about later if you win now? Well, Steve called? Okay. Let me see. Oh, you said Steve called? I have no record of any calls. I have no record. Let me see. The next GM will want to choose his next coach. Well, you know what? That's a great point, Mike. That's a great point, bro. And that's even more reason why this regime should work. But you know what, man? At the same time, if I'm a general manager, even if they fire, let's say they fire Brad Holmes, I would love to come here. Because I'm like, yo, Dan Campbell, he made it cool. I mean, okay, so you got Mike Vrabel, right? Antonio Pierce. He made it cool to me for ex-players to be coaches. And if I'm a general manager, I'm walking in, I'm saying, look, that fool Melvin, hey, as a matter of fact, I'm calling Melvin on the phone. Hello, can I speak to Melvin Holmes? Hey, what's up, my man? Yeah, sorry to hear about that, about you losing your job. I just wanted to call you as the new Detroit Lions general manager, and I wanted to kind of thank you, man. Yeah, yeah, yep. Why am I thanking you? Well, because I mean, you made my job a lot easier. You drafted Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff is solid. Yep, you set the offense. You just take it over the top a little bit. I'm gonna focus more on that defense. You know what I'm saying, to get some things together. But without you, I mean, you made it easy. So you did most of the work, but I'm gonna finish the job and get the credit. But I just wanted to call and let you know how I appreciate you setting me up like that. Yeah, it was the same way Patricia and Quinn set up you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, that's what I'm saying. So what you doing now? Oh man, you putting the fries in the bag? That's crazy, bro. What about Marvin? Did you try calling Marvin? Dang. They said you didn't qualify because you made. That's crazy, bro. Did DeForest at least give you like a severance package or something? Hey, okay. You going? Oh, okay. You call Les. Does he? Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know, you can do like you did before, man. So what you do is, see, you know how it is to start from the bottom. So if you when you cleaning them toilets, it's the way that you do it, bro. You got to make sure you get under the seats. You got to lift the seat up. You can't just spray with the. Yeah, I know. And it's messed up, man, when people miss the seat and you got to clean it. Yeah, y'all didn't want to talk about to have lunch, bro. I'm about to have. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, listen, California is cool, but you know that already. It's cool. You living in Inglewood or what? Okay. You know what? I wonder if LeBron gonna be there when you get there. He's still gonna be a. Okay. Yep. Look, SoFi Stadium is cool. You never really got to see it like that because you was here. But I just wanted. I'm not gonna hold you up, bro. I know you gotta call Marvin. I wanted to let you know that I appreciate you setting me up for success, and I'm gonna do what I just want to let. So don't feel bad when we win the Super Bowl, man. What I'll do if we have an extra ring. No, I'm lying. I'm not sending you nothing. But I just want to say thank you though. Okay. All right, Melvin. All right. Hey, listen, man. That yearbook photo was fire, man. I saw this dude, man. He put you in a Carlton Banks outfit. You saw it too? Yeah, bro. You watch. Oh, you do watch Lion Syndicate. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I watch him too, man. You can't do that, man, because if you do that, I heard he like to press charges. Okay. Yeah, man, to be smart. Don't be like Isaiah Buzz, bro, or Cameron Sutton. You brought them, but yeah, you don't want to talk about. Okay. All right, Brad. All right, man. Hey, I wish you Bill. Okay? Tell the wife I said what up, though. All right. Bye. Yeah, man. There you go. There you go. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for today. I am going to make a Bradley Chubb video on Lion Syndicate. I appreciate everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. It is 52 degrees here in Michigan. I'm telling you, bro, Michigan is insane. It's one of them places where, like, I'm a winter guy. I like the winter. I like the fall, actually. That's what kind of season I am. I'm like it where, it's crisp. You got a sweater. It's a little chilly, but not chilly enough for you to wear gloves. But if you need gloves, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Michigan is a very weird place. It was just freezing, like pipe bursting freezing. And now it's over 50. And then it's supposed to snow on Saturday. So, like, it's crazy, man. But I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in to the show. I appreciate everybody. Hopefully we will be back on Wednesday, and I will make. Oh, did any call come in from you? Let me check, because I'll get an alert. Yes. Okay, so I got a call from an 818 number, and I got a call from a 313 number. Okay, so, all right, thank you, because I almost forgot. Let me bring these in. You know what? I almost forgot. Hey, look, I watched Wonder Man. I finished Wonder Man yesterday, so I was getting my acting on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all think. It was okay. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It's definitely it ain't for the for the short attention span. I'll tell you that. All right, let me grab my headphones and let's listen to these. Hey, shout out to Ben Kingsley, man. 80-something years old. Still acting. Looking good, too. All right. Okay. Let me bring in these two. Steve, is one of these guys you, bro? Steve, is one of these guys you? I'm in Chicago right now, and it's 57. That's crazy. All right, so one of these is Steve. Man, huh? Okay. All right, so we got one on the line. Let me see.
It's Nick Sean from Canton, Michigan, Derek. I love your videos. That's all I got to say. I got no takes, man. You go. Keep doing your thing, man.
Hey, who was this? Nissan?
Hey, man. It's Nick Sean from Canton, Michigan, Derek. I love your videos. That's all I got to say. I got no takes, man. You go. Keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know what? I heard me in the background. First, I thought you was in school. Why you sound like you 15, bro? Like you should be in science. You better pay attention. you better not be in the lunch break calling. But I appreciate you, though. All right. All right, let me see. Is this Steve? Is this Steve on the line?
Derek. You know, I can give you 15 questions, but I'm only going to give you one question to keep it short. I know we need defense. We need better defense. That's a fact. But with this offense and not having a mobile quarterback, without an offensive line, we're not going to do anything. We can't do anything with Goff as our QB without an offensive line. So it's not just the running back situation I have a problem with Demo not being so valuable to this team. He's an amazing running back, but not for us. We don't need him so much, though he can help. What we need is a left tackle, a center, and an edge. And if Demo can help us fill those holes, then do it now, because the window will be closed in less than 4 years. Anyways, I'm done.
All right, so that was Steve. So we finally got a voice to Steve. First of all, appreciate you, bro. Listen. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I said you was 15, but you 16. My son is 16, man. I appreciate you. Bro. Hey, do good in school and don't do drugs. Oh man, I feel like RoboCop. Thank you for calling. That means a lot. I love to hear the young people call, man, and show their appreciation. There's a chance out of 14 million we need to do the right thing. Okay, so that was Steve. So what did y'all think of Steve? Steve is saying he's willing to sacrifice Monty for the greater good of the offensive line and an edge rusher. And that Monty is basically he's expendable. And I hear what you're saying, Steve. I'm not going to say he's expendable. I think that he's not. I think that he's just as important as Gibbs. That's just my personal opinion, but you have yours. The holes that we need to be filled 100%. But that needs to be filled whether Demo is here or not. But if Demo does leave, that creates another hole. Because like I brought up earlier in the show, bro, we haven't seen Jahmyr Gibbs without David Montgomery. So we don't even know what Jahmyr Gibbs we're going to get. And think about this. If I'm a defense and there's no threat of David Montgomery or a running back like David Montgomery, then I know, okay, stop the edge, get the edge taken care of, and tackle him in the middle, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Because when we've seen Jahmyr Gibbs taken to the house, he's usually untouched or grazed, right? So for me, I don't want to see a world with no David Montgomery. And then when Monty is no longer on the team for his contract ran out or whatever, that's going to suck. But we still need somebody who can absorb the hits like David Montgomery. I think every NFL team needs a Sonic and Knuckles. I think every NFL team think about this, y'all. That used to be what the fullback was. The fullback was that guy. It was like, okay, like Barry Sanders had a fullback. The fullback used to be that guy. You need 3, 4, 5 yards, boop, give it to the fullback, up the middle, boom, 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 boom. You know, that's what they used to do. So for me, I'm like, I hear you, but a hole is a hole. And it's going to, if we rob Peter to pay Paul, then we eventually, you know, Peter going to want his money. So for me, that's where I'm at. Bracing myself for, okay, all right. Don Burr in the building. What's up, Don? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Don, you know what? Don has been, been commenting more on my channel than he has. He always lurking in the background somewhere. That means Jacob Sailors will have to step up. All right, so in what scenario, and we'll wrap up the show, in what scenario do we trade David Montgomery and rely on Jacob Sailors? Like, give me an exact player. What pick are we getting? What player are we trading for? What are we doing that we start? And I like Jacob Sailors as an RB3. Because honestly, I look at Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery as 1A, 1B. And of course, you still have to have a 3, right? So it'd be, when you're tied, it's like 1, 1, 3. So I see 1A, 1B, 3. In my eyes, there is no running back 2. Steven says Sailors could definitely be RB2. Max we could literally get Monty. Max we could get for Monty is literally a 3rd. Fleece the Patriots for J-Mo. Oh, okay. So Petsing Barber, we've already had the J-Mo conversation. Not doing it. I don't understand where this is coming from. But if you want to hear that conversation, I think I made a segment, but you can go back and listen to the beginning of the video. But listen, I do want to say thank you to the 2 gentlemen that called in. Thank you. I want you to do more of that, right? So the goal is to give you guys an outlet. I'm not trying to, be critical or critique your opinion. It's for you to have. I'll just give you my thoughts on it, right? So Steve, thank you. And the young homie, thank you for calling as well. I appreciate you. My son is 16, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. So with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys. One guy, I was waiting on you to call in, bro. I'll put the number in there. I'll put it in there for you. I'll put it in there for you, bro. You ain't even call. So maybe you can call and we'll bring it on the show on. I did, bro. It's in there. The number is hold on. The number is 313-536-0544. 313-536-0544. When you call with your it's waiting for you. No, I already put it in there. Yeah, Steve, I can take live calls. I can do that too. That's going to be the plan. But the thing about live calls is I don't think I can take as many. Like, I'll probably have to shorten the number of calls. But because when we get on the line, we tend to talk quite a bit. I sent it already. Okay. Are you 989, bro? Is that you? Because it just popped up. All right. So this was, okay, let's hear.
Yo, what's up, Derek? This is that one guy. You can just call me Chris. I'm from East Lansing. Go green, first off. And I just wanted to talk about this cap space situation that we got, because right now, technically in the negatives for the foreseeable future of 2026. And I have a list right here of potential restructures that the Lions can make to fill some of these negatives. Right now has $40 million that can be saved in restructures. Brown has $21 million. Aleem McNeil has $17 million. Penei Sewell has $15 million. Taylor Decker has $10 million. And if you crunch the numbers, that can lead to about a lump sum of plus $90-ish million. I know nowadays, you can't sign a Myles Garrett or a T.J. Watt. You can probably sign a T.J. Watt, but I believe we can sign players that we need with that amount of money. Our Trey Hendricksons, our Tyler Linderbaums, and other key pieces that'll get us to the promised land. Only issue with this is the dead cap space that this may hit in the near 5-ish years after this, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll move how we need to move when we get there. We're not worrying about that.
All right, man. Appreciate you for that. So you know what, man? I think that the Lions you're going to have to do exactly that. That's because we have no money. We literally cannot bring in players. So any moment now in the next 3 weeks, we're going to have to hear about restructure. As a matter of fact, what is this? The 16th. This is Monday. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I believe by the end of next week, we will hear about this because we have to be ready to go by March 11th. And thank you for those numbers too, Chris. Here's the thing and I'll say it, I'll wrap up the show, is the longer these restructures draw on, the more concerned I'm going to get. Because think about this. Bradley Chubb is now a free agent. So he's a free agent. Now, what I don't know off the top of my head is because of when he was cut, is he allowed to sign before that free agency begins? You know what I'm saying? Because there is a point where the roster cuts off and blah, blah, blah. I would assume the Lions can sign pending free agents, right? So if you're on a team already, you are a pending free agent. So that's Anzalone, Khalif Raymond. Those guys are pending free agents. Then the tampering period is when you can start to talk to those pending free agents to make contracts that go into effect when free agency starts. But since these guys, Tyreek Hill, all those guys are currently free agents, could they be signed before free agency begins? That's the question that I have. But we have to start. We have no money. When the new league year begins, we are negative $8 million. So let me see. Yeah, be happy, Wabbins. Y'all happy watching Jameson Williams or Jameis Winston cook your linebackers? I'm not. One thing everyone has to remember about these 3 restructures, as soon as you do a restructure, you have that amount of cash on hand and paid immediately to the player restructure. Kenny says you called in. All right, Kenny, I don't see your call, my brother. Maybe it's taking a little while. Yeah, I don't see your call, man. But if it shows up, we'll talk about it maybe it don't show up right away. But that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. I will see you on Wednesday. Hopefully Lions. We got some Lions news, man. Until then, go Lions. If Kenny, if your call pops up, I'll play it on Wednesday. All right, take care of yourself.
Off the neighbors, whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on the feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you You gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah.